Welcome to WatchJojo Cooking. Today we're going to be making a Caesar salad wrap from scratch with a fresh chicken breast, a fresh Parmesan, bacon, fully loaded, fancy as it gets. So, in front of me I have our wraps. I have some romaine I'm going to thinly slice. I have fresh Parmesan. So the fresh Parmesan is awesome because if you were to buy pre-grated Parmesan, it costs an arm and a leg. And while this block is like expensive, you're gonna get so much more yield out of it, and the flavor is out of this world. And then of course, I buy pretty expensive Caesar salad dressing, a nice and thick, rich bodied. I wouldn't want to go cheap on the dressing. The dressing's really gonna bring it all together, and of course, we're gonna cook fresh bacon. We're not doing none of that bacon bit nonsense. We're going straight fresh ingredients today. Step one, cook your bacon. The reason you're gonna do your bacon first is because you're gonna get all that bacon fat in the bottom of the pan, and we're not gonna throw that out. We're gonna use that for the chicken. I'm gonna go with like a 4 out of 8 to start. I need to get the heat on there pretty quickly because, as always, I'm impatient. But I'm gonna be watching my bacon as it cooks. So it's important. How many wraps? We're gonna do 2 pieces of bacon each. Gonna do a decent amount of wraps. So let's just see how many we can fit in the pan here. You can also bake your chicken. Bake your bacon. No. Okay. Bacon is being less than cooperative. I'm gonna do 4 at a time. I want enough space to be able to move them around. They should shrink a lot as they cook. And so there's the other 4 or so pieces. One more, sure. So in a kitchen, it's always nice to keep yourself moving. And while you're waiting on something else, like say our bacon to start cooking, let's do some cold prep. Let's slice all of our lettuce for our wrap. I like to go nice and thin, that way you don't end up with this huge chunk of friggin' lettuce in your face. And we'll just sweep it off the edge here into a bowl. I've already washed all my veg, but I always recommend, if you're buying from a grocery store or anywhere basically, is pre-wash all your vegetables, because you never know where it's been, how long it's been out. Someone caulked on it at the grocery store. Like, don't take any risks. Wash everything. Boom, boom. And fresh Parmesan. So this product is the quality and the yield you get off of it is so much better when you buy a whole block. So I always buy like really be doing better than if you were to buy it pre-grated, or if you were to unfortunately buy, you know, like terrible craft like Parmesan that like doesn't even need to be refrigerated. Like, that's cheese that doesn't need to be refrigerated. Is that not scary to you? Cool. So this is more than enough cheese for both wraps. Parmesan is a very flavorful, but it's a very salty cheese, so you don't need a lot. Now we got our bacon going. I'm just checking the undersides, seeing how she's doing. And she has a little bit of time to go. Definitely. We're gonna leave that be for a bit. I know that I want this chicken breast to cook a little faster, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna butterfly it by slicing it right down the middle, keeping it nice and stable with my hands, so I get a wider surface area for my seasoning, and then the chicken is thinner, so it'll cook a little faster. So we're gonna go with like a pinch of chili powder. I'm going for a spicy chicken breast today, but you could just use salt, pepper, garlic, and maybe like a lemon, a little bit of lemon. I'm gonna go with the lemon juice in the wrap right as I finish. So Chili powder, check. Pepper. Splash cayenne. So the cayenne gives it that real, like, warm heat. Finally, a little bit of salt. Wow, this stuff is thick. It's a big yikes. Cool. So I'm gonna pat that in. And give it a flip. Cool, so now it's patted in. And both sides are done. Beautiful. Our bacon is cooked and we're left with bacon fat. So some people throw bacon fat at the end. I disagree. There's so much flavor and untapped potential there. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna store most of it for later. I'm actually gonna leave just a layer, the same amount I would use if I was putting oil in a pan. And this is what I'm gonna fry my chicken in. So I'm starting to see a little bit of smoke here. I know this pan's hot. So now we're gonna get the sizzle going. We're gonna leave the skin on. This process should probably take about 3-4 minutes, depends on how hot your pan is, how scared you are of raw chicken, which I have no fear, and the how high your pan is set. I have to go on a slightly lower heat to use the bacon fat because it burns a lot easier because of all the extra sugars and salts that are in there. But they're flavored, they're worth it, they're worth the wait. So as it's cooking, you don't want to walk away for too long. Maybe cut something real quick if you felt like it, but you want to keep the breast moving a little bit so it doesn't stick and burn, because you're not looking for a Cajun seasoning. You're not looking for the blackening. You're looking for just like a hard golden brown sear. There's a flip. That's all our spices. That's a little bit of the bacon fat, the sugars from the bacon that were left behind. Getting good value. So now we're gonna go into wrap assembly. We've got our chicken, our protein, our filler, the lettuce, our sauce, Parmesan, ready to go. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna thinly slice this pan fried chicken. Nice and thin. Still nice and juicy. You can see like the layers, but like it's still nice and juicy. And then we're gonna flip that over and put the skin on the bottom so I can cut through it at the end. Beautiful, nice and juicy, nice and juicy. Now we're on to wrap form. So I'm gonna start with the close-ended wrap. So both of them are gonna end up being closed. Everything will be locked inside. This is the best for if you're on the go, you wanna make a wrap for lunch, but like, you don't wanna leave an end open because everything might pour out. This will be nice and sealed so that you're not gonna lose anything. So we'll start with the close-ended wrap. So, step 1, sauce. And you'll notice I'm leaving room on both ends. And this is because those ends are gonna be folded inwards. So I want all my sauce to be inside my wrap, not like stuck to my edges and bursting at the seams. Because like if you were to put it here, then when you go to fold it, it's gonna leak out the sides. And the whole point of a wrap is ease of eating. We got our shredded lettuce, pack it pretty tight. Go with some sliced chicken. Boom. Piece of bacon. a little bit of cheddar, of Parmesan. There. Now we're doing our fold. So we're tucking in both corners, nice and firm, rolling over, and tucking in. So this is underneath the wrap. Now some people would keep going from here, but you're gonna have these weird little wingtips. Best way to fix that and also have it tighter wrap is do one more fold and fold from there. There, and nice and firm. There we go. This is perfect for giving it a quick saran wrap and then packing it in your like bag or whatever when you're going to work. You now have your lunch wrap. Boom, done. So cutting, you could just eat it straight up. If you're looking for a presentation, 45 degrees is always the standard. Boom. As you can see, I have sauces all along the edge there, so there's not a single part of that wrap that isn't delicious. Next up, we're doing a single end open wrap. So as you can see, I'm going all the way to the end with my sauce because I want every single bite to be packed with flavor. Give it a bit more there. You can also toss like the salad if you wanted and then use that. But I actually kind of like the freshness and like the way it all encompasses the way this is. Cool. A couple pieces of chicken. Once again, all the way to the end. Piece of bacon, all the way to the end. Cheese lover. Give it a little bit of Parmesan. Less cheese than you think you need. Parmesan has a very strong flavor. So once again, we're gonna do the same thing as last time, except for we're only gonna do one end, double back around, tuck our corner, but we're gonna go a little harder on that corner because we really want this side to stay closed because we're counting on it. Everything has to be held up together. Here's your wrap. Because this end isn't sealed together and locked in, the only way for you to present this is final fold down, because if I'm to let go here, it starts on coming undone. But if you let gravity do the work, you're in okay shape. Okay, so we're gonna do wraps two different ways. We're gonna seal both ends, and I'm gonna show you a nice tight roll so that there's no way that it's gonna come undone. And then we're gonna go for a open-ended presentation wrap. You can fit a little bit more food in it, but it's not gonna hold its structure. So I used two different wraps today, just for presentation purposes, and also they have different flavors. So I actually went with a really nice spinach wrap for these guys. And for my other wrap, my close-ended wraps, I ended up using cheese wraps. If you're one of those people that likes your whole grain, you can go that route. I think a flour tortilla would be more than fine for this. And the spinach and cheese, honestly, if you just know you like the wrap, whatever works for you. Unfortunately, when I was there, I couldn't find the tomato one. I felt like that would have really brought it together. So today we went over proper wrap form, folding in your corners. We looked with using premium quality ingredients and the values those bring to the table. I'm honestly, this is my favorite lunch. Like, nothing beats a good Caesar wrap, but like the same principles apply to like any type of wrap you want to make, whether you're making some spicy chicken, something, you're making yourself a taco with beef, doesn't matter. The wrapping conventions are always the same.